in the hell are these guys going live on a Thursday? Did you know about this? Why didn't you tell me about this? I told you to keep track of this nonsense. Well, you caught me on my off day here, so we're going to have a little bit of a deep conversation. And this is going to be about conspiracies in general and why you guys believe some of the bullshit. Because there's a lot of nonsense out there. People here watching us, y'all are the good ones. Y'all the seekers. And we are seeking the truth and we know the truth. But there's a lot of dumb conspiracies. You know, I'm talking about them gay frogs and Alex Jones nonsense. All them idiots that's just going to lead you down the path of, well, I guess it's the path of comfort, ain't it? Because here's the thing. Did you know that a lot of people who believe conspiracies, they put the same amount of weight into information they get from their friends and from sources on the internet as they do from information they get from scientists and people who know what they're talking about, like us, right? So those people, why do they believe things like that and why do they act that way? Well, it's very simple. The smarter ones among us, like y'all's the seekers, y'all's the smarter ones, we can rise above our evolution because we got logic and we got the mental faculties to do so. Now the people who don't, well, they still stuck in their evolution. For hundreds of thousands of years, we've been evolving, but you know, it's only been the last 1,000 or so, or maybe the last couple hundred, where we've grown out of our tribes and our zone of perception has really started to move, but our brains are still stuck in this tribal mentality, y'all. We still think that the world is this big, and so we have a bubble around us. There's a lot of this going on because there's a lot of bubbles going on, and that's sort of our comfort bubble. And sometimes we'll get a fact hit us in the eyeballs, and we'll be like, no, I don't like that fact, because that fact bursts my bubble and pulls my perception to the bigger reality. So I ain't going to acknowledge it. And that's why you see all these idiots out here yelling false flag and stuff, because they found a fact or they found a thing that really burst their little bubble, and it ain't comfortable. And see, the thing is, we is acting upon our initial instincts. And we need to break out of that and realize that everything is different and the world is a much bigger place and that there's a lot going on out there that's real, but it don't make you feel good. Guess what? What's real don't care about what you feel like. Let's talk about this in the sense of movies. So here's what it's like. You're watching a movie, right? And you're watching a movie about just a guy who works at the post office and, you know, he's fighting to save his family from some crazy murderer, right? And it just goes through. It's a very normal movie, right? You know, he goes to the diner, has his coffee, talks to his friends. It's kind of cerebral. It's kind of boring. And, you know, he's fighting this guy who's trying to kill his family and just nothing weird, nothing paranormal. And all of a sudden, toward the end of the movie, he starts flying and shooting lasers. You know what you're going to be doing when you're sitting there in the movie theater? You're going to watch that and you're going to be like, what's this bullshit? This is nonsense. You know why? It's because the rules were laid out in the beginning of the movie. And in the beginning of your life, the rules were laid out. People told you what to believe. People told you what religion was. And people sort of shaped your perspective. And you turned it into a hard shell. But you got to realize that you can crack open that shell. And you can start looking outside. Looking around. And realizing that what you've been believing ain't what matters. What's real, what matters. And that's why y'all watching this. We'll see you next week for some more conspiracies, now that y'all know how to think. Oh.